What's happening, everybody? Good morning, Two Bros Podcast. In effect, we are live on the book. We are taping the nice brick background, courtesy of Secret Location. Last time we got in trouble for pronouncing where we were.
No, actually, we didn't get in trouble.
We didn't get in trouble.
We didn't get in trouble.
They said you needed to know about it.
Right. There was just concern. There was just concern that, oh, well, you can't do this unless you let them know about it. It turns out that wasn't the case. There was just like some preemptive concern. And we actually, from that one we did when we were outside,
Episode
five or six.
Five, six.
One of those two.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking about it.
I know.
A lot of people were asking my wife, say, hey,
She
is
called.
your husband, is your husband
Are they
like,
doing something?
are they part of a TV show or something? He said like about 15 people asked him. And I told her, I said, well, tell them
what it is.
Podcast. And
Join the convo.
yeah, exactly. Whatnot.
Join the convo. Well, good morning, sir. How are you? Okay. Two Bros Podcast, episode number 24. Wow, 24, huh?
24.
24. We are almost a quarter. We're a penny short of a quarter. Welcome and good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. We are freestyling today from a remote location, if you didn't notice the scenery. But we're going to do that from time to time, you know. So that's, we set up the tripod so that we could be a little mobile and we could just move around.
That's right. Do it free. You know what I think would be a good spot to do?
Where?
At that, when they rebuilt the White Castle on Sunrise Highway.
It's funny you should say that.
Just go in there and just set up the tripod and just...
I don't think you can. Let me
Really?
tell you why. We went in there yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So first off, I went and suit shopping and took the boss with me yesterday, right? So I said, hey, you know, you're better at the color picking out and all that stuff. I need to get like 3 more suits, you know, for the spring,
Right.
you know. And I let her pick out all the, you know, the color. She's like matches ties and all that stuff. I just get dressed, you know. And I said, hey, it's open. And she was like, wow, cheap date. Like, really? You know, thought we were originally going to go to steakhouse. What's his name?
That's a huge fucking drop off from a steakhouse, any steakhouse.
No,
We had Outback.
Yeah.
To fucking White Castle.
You know, we had so much shit to do like during the day, so it was like, I was like, it's open. We gotta go in there, and you know, soup place right there, right next to where your tuxes were for your wedding. Right?
Okay, all right.
Go to that.
That's a good. That's a good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude that's in there.
So we go in to all expectations. They took Ray Kroc's advice.
Which is?
So did you see Founders, the movie
Yes.
Founders?
Yes.
You remember how the guy was doing the setup when the brothers were setting up the fries?
Right.
They put the kitchen in the middle.
Okay.
And 100 workers surrounding.
Okay.
And they just
Workflow.
workflow. Bananas.
That's accentuate your workflow. So make your workflow easier.
Feng shui, workflow,
Right.
whatever the fuck you want to call it. They mastered that shit. I mean, nothing but little grilled onions coming from. Oh, where the onions come from? Coming up. Oh, onions sprinkling all over the place. It was magical. If you're a White Castle fan. And guess what else they have? They added to the menu.
What?
Crab cakes.
Are you serious?
Oh!
You are so fucking excited.
Oh.
They added crab cakes. So they have crab cakes on the White Castle menu.
Crab cake sliders.
Okay. Do they have a little like sauce?
Yes.
Like a little...
They got the little pepper mayo, whatever they call
Okay.
it. The
All
red
right.
pepper mayo type
Pepper
of sauce.
mayo, maybe some sriracha. Mayo
It is something like a sriracha mayo.
Okay.
And it was a good quality crab cake. Now, bad quality crab cakes, you could tell when they're mashed. They're so mashed together.
Mushy, too much breading.
Yeah. This thing literally had like pieces of crab flake in it. Like,
So White Castle has flaky crab cakes.
It was so good. It was so good. I only got 2 and some clam strips. You know.
And they got clam strips. I don't remember them having clam
Come on,
strips.
wait. Pause. White Castle's always had clam strips. For 50 fucking years, White Castle had clam strips.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You're right.
You're thinking of clam.
You're right.
Don't
I'm
clam.
thinking,
Fried
yes. I'm
clam
thinking of,
strips.
yes.
No. Little fried. They've had them for as long as I can remember there ever being a White Castle's. No, so it was absolutely fantastic. It was like and then they put the super soda machine in there with the the same one that everybody has, where
You just select your
1,000
soda
fucking
and-
choices in there, all pumping from some syrup in the back, and it's like a little mixologist in the back. But it wasn't bad. The flow was good. They had a fucking they have an automated napkin dispenser. So, and it's counting, which kind of freaked me out a little bit. So then, it's almost like you wash your hands.
Okay.
You put your hand under, and a napkin falls in your hand.
Really?
Yes.
Holy shit!
So you don't touch the other napkins. It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
It's fucking pretty. They really did it up. They haven't done anything with that place for years.
Right.
And just to see it, like, when you thought something was like, we've been living in the world of the dead things that are just no more.
Right.
For this nostalgic burger heaven to be reinstated,
to get a
upgrade.
rebirth, to get an upgrade, and sort
you
of
gotta shake it out.
Reintroduce itself.
The reason why I say you probably couldn't do it it was fucking packed.
Was it really?
I don't know if it was people just. People were on the babe. I'm at the White Castle. So they said, White Castle? Yeah, the one Limbrook. You know which one I'm talking about. The guys are like, hurry up the line. This guy was like, yes, what do you want? What do they have? He said, what do they have? This is fucking White Castle.
White Castle.
Just get. And I was like, bro, you should have known. You get a sack and call it a day and say, hey, I stopped off here. If you want to feel mischievous. And it was great, man. It was.
Oh my god!
It was an event.
I'm excited.
It was an event, and it
excited.
really was. And actually, they made it smaller, but they made it more efficient. I think they put like a row of bar stools on one side
because they want you to go. They want you to get out.
Yeah, I mean, before it was kind of like a bum haven, like you could sit there, buzz the bathroom, and truck stoppers go there, and
Right. Yeah. If you notice, like places like what's the one, Shake Shack.
Shake Shack
does that. They actually have more standing places.
They
actually have seating places.
Yeah, it's time to go.
I think the idea being is stand up, look, eat your shit, but then when you're done, go. This isn't you shouldn't don't be sitting here like hanging out and taking up space. We need to have more people buying more shit, and you got to go. But that could be the idea that they're trying to.
I was impressed, man. So funny you brought that up, but man, it was like wow. And then took a nap right after it, like. Took a fucking well-deserved nap after, and it's great. It was just like, wow, you just get that little satisfaction. I don't know what it is. I think it's the onions. I think it's I'll break a diet for that thing and just like.
You apparently did.
I did. I ate. Yeah.
That's got to be. That's got to be an event, and it's right off the train station too. So you can take the train to Limbrook.
It's really something.
I mean, what would I say? Especially you, because you.
Well, I'm right there.
Stop right there, so that you can take the train to Limbrook and then just hop in the cab or Uber.
Yeah, for me,
or take the train back, depending on if that train's gonna take you back to.
No, you can't do that.
They can't. The Limbrook doesn't hit Valley Stream. Right?
No,
Valley Stream.
It'll turn. It turns off.
That's right.
It turns off. It goes to Far Rockaway or Long Beach. It doesn't come that way to Rock.
All right.
It doesn't go that way. If you catch that one, you're going to Ronkonkoma or something.
Okay.
Whatever. So yeah, but what a fun thing, man! It was really cool. So I was kind of excited and looking forward to it again.
I'm excited now.
I actually texted my boy Psych, and like me and him used to always like do when they came out with the movie, we were like, told you, man, we should have did this shit a long time ago. Like an adventure to get to White Castle. We've had a couple, and I'm like, these motherfuckers made a movie about our shit. Like we, catching a flat tire, going here. We're getting to White Castle, bro. We're gonna make it there, and no matter what happens. And
are they still open 24 hours?
Didn't ask, but I'm assuming because that was kind of the mantra, right? I mean, it seemed to be because they serve breakfast.
Okay.
So they have like they got a lot of new things on the menu. They got like fish, a lot more fish, a lot more a lot of cool stuff on there that I was really excited about. Man, but the crab cakes, crab cake sliders from White Castles. If you haven't had them, what a treat! What a treat!
Okay,
but yeah, so White Castles is back, man.
White Castles is back. Got to be introduced. I told my wife, I said for my birthday, I said the only thing I care about. I said I want White Castles and I want 40 ounces for my birthday. I said anything else is like, then I don't really care. Like if you want to do, she asked me, she said, do you want to do something special for your birthday? And I said, I'll get there. Chill for a second. I know, we in your space. It's a cat.
Yeah.
He might pop up.
Will he come up? Does he come up?
Yeah, if he wants to.
Come up, Theo.
But watch he gets up. You can see he's so big he can't get up there. Yeah, all the way. He's gonna do a
Fat boy.
do a little double take.
Welcome to the podcast. We got a new guest with us, Theo. Yeah, so speaking of 40 ounces, one of the most disappointing things that they've done to the 40 ounce, have you seen lately?
No, what have they done?
They make them in plastic bottles, dude.
Yeah.
It's the most horrible thing you can do to a 40 ounce. Plastic bottle, like a 2-liter soda, 40. It's the same cone shape. It's the same shape.
Oh,
They're
okay.
plastic. I hate it. It's horrible.
I guess for utility. But yeah,
I mean, listen, for the environment, it's probably better than all this glass. I mean, a 40 ounce bottle of glass is a big fucking deal.
Yes.
I mean, that's a big jug. That's like.
And it caused a lot of fights.
Yes.
And it,
you motherfucker.
exactly. You settle shit. I mean, how many times have you on the weekend you hear that?
Yeah. But no, they make them in plastic, dude. Even the Deuces, they got them in plastic because it's just so cheesy, man. It takes away the like. You can't get it that crispy cold that you wanted in the glass bottle.
Right.
There was something really special about that, like that crispy.
You hear that?
Oh,
Right.
Man, good. But plastic,
Yeah, I don't know.
it just doesn't do it. It gets warm super fast.
It gets warm fast, and there's something about holding a thing of plastic.
Plastic beer? Like
Nah.
that, I don't want to do it.
Nah.
It's not a beer.
Nah.
Nobody who drinks beer wants it. Hey, can you get mine in a plastic? This would be great.
Yeah.
The beer is cold in glasses.
It's supposed to be in the glass.
And bad enough if you're getting it.
It's supposed to indicate some, and I'm getting a little philosophical here. Indicate some form of fucking responsibility. Like, hey, you got glass in your hand.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Chill out.
Treat that with some fucking respect. Whether you're having a Bud Light or you're having a freaking microbrew thing, treat that damn thing with some damn respect.
Or an IPA.
Not a plastic, plastic.
I mean,
I think
listen.
Coors Light was the first. Wasn't Coors one of the first ones to start putting this stuff in plastic bottles? Or and then they had that like aluminum, like they had like a 20-ounce aluminum
tube,
aluminum-ish bottle.
Yeah, they had the aluminum tube, and so does like the Bud and the Platinums.
Right.
They have like aluminum bottles. They shape like bottles.
They shape like a bottle, but it's aluminum, right?
I'm not a fan of that stuff too, man. The packaging is. I guess, you've got to change with the time. You have to make the package. Yeah, you got to rebrand. But some things, some things are just, you just don't put, beer in plastic. I'm offended by that. I'm not a beer connoisseur. I don't know the difference between, like, I have, like, sometimes people, oh, you want lager or you want, what's the other one? Ales? So I don't know. So I tell them I don't try to be fancy about it and try to. Yeah, like IPA, I get it. You know what I'm saying? What does it stand for? Independent.
Some
IPA.
Pilsner Ale. I don't know.
I thought it was independent private ale or something like that.
Somebody will tell us something one day.
Google IPA.
Google
the IPAs. Like Lagunitas has been pretty steady for me. I mean,
yeah, I think some people get a little crazy about it. Like if you go to like the Croxleys and whatnot, and they have like 7,000 beers that they have. There's some people who actually like will go in there and they say, "Oh yeah, last week I had this," and it's it seemed like the balance of the hoppiness didn't match with the alcohol content and stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, what's good?
Right?
Is it good?
Is it good?
Can I try it?
Right.
This is good. Can I have this?
Yeah, that's kind of what matters, right? I mean, I didn't notice the word like hops. I mean, even though the commercials always, made with barley and hops and this and that. It wasn't until Superbad when McLovin, I like it because it has more hops, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, the hop is the
actual
the little oat thing, and it's like a bulb. It's like a damn weed bulb, and the more of that you put in it, the more bitter it gets, and whatever else.
Or its content, or do you roast them, or do you
yeah.
Get them down or what?
Theo has left the
See you
building.
later.
Hey, he's gonna pull it. He's gonna.
Goddamn cat! Just go walk over it.
Vausklan Wagendrat. I'll bring the whole thing on your head.
Goddamn cat.
Theo. Yeah, man. So the beer. I mean, and the nerve of like Pabst Blue Ribbon is like they doubled the price. They got famous.
Really?
It used to be $6
It got
for a case.
Yeah.
They're like 12. They're like regular beers now.
It got another push.
Yeah, the nerve of these people.
Push of popularity because now it's like one of those retro things, and they sort of benefited from not changing, from not doing any of those.
Being
changes.
classic.
Being the same thing.
Right.
It's the same aluminum can. It's easy to find a can in a bottle.
Looks like a ribbon. Yeah.
You know.
But I just hope they don't change. Like they try to get funky with their stuff now.
That's the ribbon dark.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Pabst Blue Ribbon is now 90 calories.
Yeah.
Pabst Light.
Like gluten-free Pabst, whatever. But no, that's it's funny to see how these trends happen in the markets, and we've always seen that from everything. It's happening with everything, but just changing the packaging is kind of what else changed packages? So I know a couple of things changed over the course of the years. There's been what else?
Were you talking about something specific?
No, just in general. Like I can remember being upset about something that they changed the packaging of that was kind of iconic in the packaging itself.
Really?
Well, Pringles is iconic packaging, right? The round can.
Yeah, that's never. Are you saying that changed?
The little ones, they put the little. You had them in my house. The little tear off.
Oh, the little tear off one. The tray. Okay,
little tray.
Yeah.
There was a couple of other things that came in packages that just, I don't know. The package is more fun than the Cracker Jacks, the box.
The boxes.
Then they made them in bags. You gotta have a box. Cracker Jacks in a box. The prize elevator at the bottom.
There's a guy at Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Several years ago, when I went to a Yankee game with a bunch of friends, there was this guy, old guy, then selling Cracker Jacks.
Mm-hmm.
He had this very, very specific voice.
Oh,
and it was like a high pitch, and you would hear him say Cracker Jack, and that's all he'd do. And he'd just walk up, and he looked like freaking. Remember the tall man from Phantasm? He just looked like that dude, and just would walk around. This real older black guy. He would just walk, and he would stand there, and he'd stop in the middle of the stairs and just go, Cracker Jack, Cracker Jack. Somebody would say, and he'd like throw them to you and stuff like that. And so I've been going to games for a while, and I hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
Last year I went to a game, walking around, grabbing a beer. All of a sudden, in the distance, I hear,
he's gotten old.
And I was like he's here, like he's still here. He was on the other
like
side.
really
He was on the other side.
So you heard it.
So I heard it.
Oh man!
And I actually got up and I walked towards because I wanted to see him.
That's cool.
Like he's like this mythological figure now.
The Cracker Jack man.
He's like,
have you seen the Cracker Jack guy?
He's running around trying to find him. I didn't see him.
That's pretty fun.
Where the fuck is he?
Like, where is he? I can
Exactly.
hear him.
I know he can hear him. Or maybe it was just my dream.
No. But that's like Mr. Softy and all those things. Those sounds become iconic where you just hear them in the background, and it's like, oh shit. I mean, when Eddie Murphy did it, it was like you know why it was so good? Because everybody had that moment. Everybody was like, yes, I remember that, and it seemed like he was telling like our story. And every neighborhood was like, no, that's my story. That's and the truth was, it was everybody's story.
Shit stopped when you heard when you heard exactly. Went just like that. You went,
oh shit! Is that you got some money? You got some money?
Ma!
Run upstairs, grab it, throw some change. I mean, he did it almost exactly to the way I remember it being growing up, and it was like, how did he know? Like, how did he know that's what we do? But I guess every hood did it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And there's always somebody that's got to like get somebody else's shit. So give me a double sprinkle. Give me a vanilla chocolate swirl with chocolate sprinkles. And then all of a sudden, everybody else would start doing that. And so this one dude has like 8 fucking things in there, which you can't do.
You can't do that. Now you can't do that even more. Like this, you go to the Starbucks run or coffee run. I tell people no, because I don't know what the fuck you ask. You ask me for half double daff with a whipper snipper and all these crazy things. Like what was the one with was it Ant-Man? Whatever. Venti or it was one of those. Who's the guy that plays Ant-Man? What's his name?
Judd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Thank you.
Paul Rudd. So it's one of those movies where he's in the coffee place and he's like, I want a medium. I want, and they're like, Venti, medium. middle size, whatever the
Uh-huh.
3 sizes you have. I want the one in
With
the
the one in
middle.
the middle.
Grande or, and so he.
Yeah, they
you know,
speak their own language.
It's on purpose, man.
Right.
It's on purpose to make sure. It's the old restaurant market price.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, market price. How much is it? If you have to ask, you don't know.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to be here. I mean, I hate that shit. It's so in today's all this shaming and all this other stuff. Starbucks is
That's part of
shaming
it.
the shit out of people from having a cup of coffee. You're shaming people, Starbucks. Medium. Just make it medium.
Just for a cup of coffee.
Small, medium, large. Make it simple with this venti. Oh, well, it's 20 ounces, so it's venti. That's what.
Yeah. So I guess like the Italian,
what the
thing.
fuck?
Who the fuck cares?
It just makes people, crazy. And you go in there, Grande is. So I don't know. Is Grande bigger than venti?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
And what's the
no,
small?
the Grande is the
Middle?
Vente, I think, is the biggest one.
20 ounces, I would
It's the
assume
biggest
is
one.
fucking huge.
The Grande is the one in the middle, and I don't know what they
What's
call
the
it.
regular-
Small.
what's the small?
Small. I don't know. Pequeño. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck they do. I don't do Starbucks. I don't go to
Starbucks is,
Starbucks. Or what
size
you I remember
shaming.
you called it $4.
$4, yeah.
Because you can't walk out of
You
there
can't
without
walk out of
spending
spending
at least
$4 minimum. But that's pretty shameful. Though.
It is, and it also sparks that. Like for me, the best coffee, like around my job, the best coffee is this coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen some of my things. I got
The John's
it's
Cup?
called John's
Yeah.
Cup, and it's a good cup of
coffee.
coffee.
Yeah.
It's strong, and it's and the guy that
It's a barista.
the guy, he's not a barista. The guy, he's an old Greek guy. Not an old, I should say an old Greek guy. The guy that runs it, he's Greek. And he talks, but he's Greek, but he talks that very fast New York, like stereotypical, like, hey, how you doing? What do you want? How do you
What do you got?
want
Coffee?
What do they call it? Coffee regular? 2 milks, 2 sugars? And he says shit before you can think about yeah.
Yes.
No, I just want that. And that's why I just like drinking my coffee black. I don't want to answer all these
I
goddamn
just
questions.
get black. I get black, no sugar, no.
Right.
Listen, I'm a big Dunkin' Donuts guy because I like the convenience, the app, and all that stuff. I can press it and it's ready for me when I walk to the train station. I do the.
Oh, you do that?
Oh, it's fucking the best thing.
My wife loves that.
It's
She loves
probably
she's a Starbucks person, but she loves doing it.
probably one of the best features of having a digital app, and you can, it goes to the card, and it goes to you buy a gift card. So it's what I like about it is that it's only one purchase. Like I only spend on my card once instead of going $5. It's hitting your card every time. The card, I have $50 card, and I try to keep it a month.
Right.
And like you spent $50 on coffee a month. It's not uncommon.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
I mean, so I try
if
to
you get 2 a day. That's
I can't do two.
no, but I'm saying
I know.
but it's easy to do.
Yeah. Well, I usually do it because me and Key use the same one, so we, and but it's good because the kids can use it. It goes on your phone. Like my daughter, she'll be at school or something, and she's got no money in her pocket. But she can always go to the Dunkin' Donuts, get something to eat, and just flash the card, beep. They can scan it, and it'll bill to the account. So she doesn't have that money. She
Right.
can have, this is more cashless
Well,
society.
we're
type.
going to become a cashless society.
Yeah, it's got to go. If it's true what they say, and I don't know this, that it costs more to print it than it is what it's worth, I mean, that would make it.
Well, some monetary values are like I don't know why the fuck we're still coins and especially pennies. Like it costs like $1. Like it costs like 1.5. Isn't like a penny and it costs more to make the penny than the penny
I've heard
is
that.
actually worth.
I've heard
So
that
why are we
several
still
times.
making pennies?
I don't know. But I guess they
Why
still
are we
make because
making
they're new
coins? Why are we
pennies.
making coins?
There's
Like
new.
why? Like, are you going to be upset if somebody owes you 4 cents, and you or if somebody owes you 6 cents,
Right.
and they hand you a nickel? Is that going to piss you off that you didn't get 6 cents back as
Right.
opposed to just a nickel?
Right. So like supermarket, Key Food by me does your change on receipts, which may be the new way to compensate that.
What does that mean?
So if I give you a 20
Mhm.
and it's $6, $4 change, they say, "Would you like this on a voucher?" They print it out and it's $4. It's worth $4.
Oh, okay.
So next time you come back, you cash all these things in. That may be the way to do it if you did it that way, because you're not wasting coins. I mean, you print out a little receipt, which is nothing.
Yeah, but if you do that and then you come in and then you like collect them all and then you end up going in and getting
Go shopping and
money.
you use your own thing.
Well, I'm saying, but can you like, do you cash it in or do you use it for the next time you go in?
So you
there?
could cash them in. It works the same way like the what you call the tickets when you return the bottles.
Okay.
You return the bottles, you get a ticket.
Right.
They don't give you coins out of it. They give you a ticket.
Right.
You could take that ticket inside, cash it out, or apply it to your grocery bill.
Right. Okay.
So they're doing the same thing with change. Like, oh, we want change.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It works because if you're stupid to lose it, then that's
Yeah, that's yours.
Right. But
and I'm sure that's been a conversation.
It will be, but people. How many times you saw a dollar fly by?
Right.
I mean, you've seen coins on the ground. People drop them. This would be no different. But the fact that the paper is so shitty that if you ever left a receipt on the table and it got wet, it's destroyed.
Wet and it's destroyed. Yeah.
It's gone. So that could be a thing.
Right.
No.
Well, but then if you cash that, you translate that forward, it could also be
to your account.
You can go to your account.
Right. That would be even smarter.
Like if you got a Key Food account, so you got a Key Food account and
keep the change.
Just $27. Or it would just take directly out from your account, so there wouldn't be any change.
Right. Well, that would be a debit card, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be what they
circumvented that.
They have this thing called debit card. It just comes right out of the account.
What? Debit? I remember a long time ago. I used to when I didn't have like a place to live. I would go to the library and get on the computers at the public library. And there was this guy, destitute dude, who would always walk around, but he'd always say, "So you know what they got now? You know they got these ATM machines. You could just go out and get money." He would say that, and he would say that all the time. So it's obviously not right mentally, but that was his thing.
So he didn't catch on to the concept.
Right. He just didn't understand that. No, you kind of have to have something
tied to it.
There's no you just don't go just get money. There's no line to go in and get money.
I'm only laughing because I know people like that have said that when I was a kid. Some of them are my friends on here, and I won't mention their name. And I'll even give you another scenario of what they said. That this is to show you the mental compensation of the person. So this same person who said something similar to that said, I remember very specifically, and I dare not say that person's name without getting bashed.
Oh shit!
After school, we used to go to my friend's house and play. They played cards. Parents didn't get home until late, make sandwiches, and it was a hangout. You know what I'm saying? Gamble on cards and watch TV and play games, all kinds of stuff. And the Bugs Bunny cartoon or whatever, some shit was on, a cartoon. And he took a black dot, like a hole, and he threw it, and he made another hole, and he went down it.
On the bug in the cartoon.
Bugs Bunny,
Okay, all right.
So he picked up the hole and put it wherever he wanted to, and went down. The girl says, "You can't put a hole here and come up on the other side. That's fake." Did you not understand the whole fucking concept of a cartoon is fake? Let alone, like, that's what you got out of this? You thought the hole was a phenomenon? Like,
and you thought this whole shit was conceptually real. That's a bigger fucking thing.
It's just like, that's so stupid. You can't just put a hole anywhere and come up and then come up on the other side over there.
So you totally missed this whole rabbit walking on his hind legs talking. That part got past you. But goddamn it, if you ain't
gonna lift up a hole and flip it and put it on the other side. I wonder if she remembers that. I doubt it. She'll probably deny it. I dare not say her name.
I think you should say it.
No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Let's see if she watches and maybe she says, "That was me."
That was me.
Anyway. But yeah, that some people like get caught up on the wrong accent of things like especially when they're obviously jokes or whatever else.
Right.
Like get all weirded out.
Well, some people think that because you have the opportunity to do it, that means that there's nothing tied to it. And we're talking about the ATM thing. when I was in the military, I knew a bunch of people. Who had this rationale. Well, I thought I could pay for it because I had checks.
Yes.
Guys would go on deployment. They would come back home, and they would say, "Yo, there's like $250 in bounce check fees." Well, what the hell happened? I did not, I thought, you said this much money for bills, and you had this much money for that, and what happened? And the response was always, "Well, I had these checks, so I just figured that it would be covered by the bank." And it was like, I gotta go through this whole. I gotta go back to the basics now, breaking this down.
That's a
like
problem.
If you write a $10 check, you gotta have $10 somewhere else to cover it.
Listen, that is a huge problem in this country, and with the difference between debit and credit, and knowing how to balance the checkbook. There's always been a problem with people across the country that have just thought that. I don't understand this thing. Like, really? You think a $5,000 credit card is $5,000?
Right.
You don't understand the concept of interest, or you don't understand that this is not your money. You're borrowing.
Right.
There's so many things, and a lot of them, when they come from the schools, they kind of like skip that because they think it. They think you gotta understand that this is checking and savings. And
I don't think they know it. I think they've figured out this is a way to sort of like take advantage of people. Stuff because
but I think big institutions are doing it. Like big institutions, like make sure. Let's not cover this. You understand? You gotta check and say, yeah, okay, let's move on to the next part. Now we're gonna debit you by this.
Look, go to any college campus, and you will always see somebody there ready to sign you up for a damn credit card.
Yeah.
Hey, it's free, and I'll give you a T-shirt. Ignore this part of I'm not gonna explain this 22.9% interest on all your purchases and stuff like that. Fuck all that. You get $1,000 worth of credit.
Yeah.
And a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I'll throw in a squeezy ball.
For you.
Huh?
For a mug.
Huh?
Interest
free. In the school colors.
First 30 days, interest free.
Hey?
Get it in your name.
Caught me when I was a kid. I was like, what? And then you go and then you use it. And then, wait a minute, that's all I got to do? That's it. You swipe that, and I come away with shit. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel proud. But then as you get older, you feel proud about doing the other thing. Me and my wife paid off a credit card, which is like down this road. And I said, it's a beautiful thing. You see that balance? It's zero.
Yeah. Wow. Keep sending me that zero bill every time.
Zero, exactly. There's a couple that I still keep that I should close, but I just like them.
No,
I just like sending it.
Yeah,
I like them saying, hey, your balance is
still zero,
and your payment due is zero.
Still checking on you. Zero.
Thank you. Still zero. Some will cut you off though. Some will say, hey, you haven't used this card in a while, so if you don't use it, we're gonna cut it off. So then
PC Rich
I'll go fill up a tank of gas or something.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this
cup of coffee.
It's so weird that having this cash. I mean, I think you're right, being a cashless society and kind of just figuring out how everybody's searching to try to get you to pay for something. You know what I'm saying? So capitalism. I hear when you go travel around the world, like it's an American thing. Like people don't spend as much in other countries.
You're probably right.
Stuff.
You're probably right.
It's just an American thing. Like they get us with the TV, with the shows and the commercials, like advertising. Europe and Italy and all those other places, while they have the capital, like Gucci, you would think everybody in Italy walks around in Gucci and fucking Fendi.
Right,
they don't even wear it. They wear a couple of local Italian stuff, but they don't wear this stuff. It's manufactured for us.
Yeah.
It's really made for us. I mean, they wear it at the show, at the Milan showcase, but they're completely marketing for the consumer base that's big. But then when you look at the world markets, America is so small. When you look at Europe,
on the world scene,
per capita, per people, etc. Like Europe is so much bigger. But it's much bigger, diversified.
But when you look now, their economies are like in a serious flux.
Oh, for sure.
This is still. I mean, as much as we have issues with our economy, this is still the strongest and the most stable economy in the world. Yeah. We'll probably. I mean, at some point, we'll probably be overtaking them. But I think China's going to have something to say about that once they realize, once people start. Once they start developing a broader, their own form of a middle class.
Started in the Caribbean, man.
So
they fucking took over the Caribbean, man. China construction. They built this Baja Mar I worked on. They damn near bought the island. They put cruise ships to work on this place. So you had 5,000 people living on a cruise ship. Pull up in a boat. They come running out. They go work. They built this whole place. They go back on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
They eat. They don't spend any money in the town.
Yeah.
So when you think of hey, this can be great for jobs and all this stuff, no. They were required to only bring 10% Bohemian interaction. So
wasn't it Bohemian?
Meaning it was in the Bahamas, built in the
Oh,
Bahamas.
Bohemian. Okay, Bohemian. You said Bohemian. I'm thinking
no Bohemian, like the people.
Greenwich Village.
No,
I'm thinking
toe rings and fucking. No, the Bahamians
from the Bahamas. Okay,
from the Bahamas. And while they were all happy for it, it happened. They were like, "Wait, where's all the construction jobs? Where's this? Where's that?" And I guess the prime minister or whatever else, he's like, "Look, we made a deal, man." Because in that deal, they got the roads fixed. They got the beach erosion fixed. They got the jetties and all this shit. The bridges. They came with a big package, and it's finally open now. And people are like, "This ain't what it's cracked up to be."
Oh, really?
$40 drinks and shit like that. Come on, who could do this? Who's gonna go there?
Who's it? Right? Who's this for?
And because what's the Atlantis? Was always the biggest attraction there. In the Bahamas.
Okay.
It's probably the worst place you could take.
Is it really?
Yes. Because you can't get any. It's too big. No one helps you. It's like. Excuse me. Can I get 1 minute? 1 minute. They should just come up with something there that's just like the automated soda machines and stuff like that.
Right.
Because there's no service.
Right.
It's just too many people. Kids splashing around. So now what happened, and this is the I guess the dichotomy or whatever. People are now going to the local supermarkets. They're bringing their coolers of personal stuff.
Right.
And at a 5-star resort, you bring in
bringing your coolers, sausages and stuff like that.
You're bringing your own shit. You're making sandwiches and shit at a 5-star place.
Right.
That's not supposed to happen.
Not supposed to happen. Right.
So you're supposed to have service. It's supposed to be about luxury. It's supposed to be about spending, that the home away from home.
Right.
Now they're making it like you're going to a Motel 6 with a pool and you made sandwiches on the side.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's going to be a problem because if you're spending X amount of dollars and you expect to be it's not that. What am I trying to say? It's not that you're being
bougie or
bougie,
right.
Exactly, right.
Not
it's
doing
not
that.
that.
No.
But if I'm dropping X amount of dollars,
right.
I expect, like, if I ask somebody a question, I shouldn't be shrugged off.
Yes. I can't.
I should not be shrugged off. Whether my question is a legitimate question or whether it was just me being a fucking jerk or whatever. Question should not be.
I'm buying, you're selling.
If your standard of living resides on me dropping that X amount of dollars I put on my damn credit card, then if I have a question, then you should at least entertain the fucking question.
I would think so.
But unfortunately, a lot of places you go. We went to this resort. It's a place called the Excellence Resort. And they have two. They have one in they have more. They have multiple, but they have one in Mexico.
Okay.
Mexico. And they have one in Dominican. Okay. We went to the one in Mexico. Loved it. Fantastic. I don't think it's possible for people to be more courteous and kind to you.
That's what you want.
I just don't think. I felt like I'm taking advantage of them. Like if I asked a question, somebody answered the question. Somebody answered the question relatively politely and whatnot. Even if it was a dumb question, you'd have a laugh.
Right.
Whatever. But that's what it's supposed to be. You know.
Right.
Went to one in the Dominican. One in the Dominican is I don't want to say it's that Motel 6 experience, but it was a far cry from the other one. In which, sometimes you didn't get your question answered. Sometimes,
really,
you dealt with somebody who was a little persnippety and didn't like this, didn't like this arrangement and stuff like that. And so, yeah, you definitely see the difference.
But that's a big thing with companies and corporations. They always strive. If you go to, I remember my Pergamon days. We built I was fortunate enough to be on a team to assemble 5 different properties. Because we had it down pat what the corporation wanted.
Right.
They wanted the sun aisles to be the same. They wanted the look to be the same. They wanted everything seasonal to be here.
Right.
And we set every store up the same way. That's the same way CVS, Walgreens. All of them are doing it the same exact way. You walk in, boom, you see the cashier right there,
Should be
so
so,
you
right.
know it's like you
The
can't
format
get
is
past.
the same,
Right,
right.
the format is the same. Whether it works or not is different. That's irrelevant. But you're giving people a sense of
comfort and familiarity.
yeah, that's all. That's what all of the. I mean, that was Holiday Inns, and I had the pleasure of working with both. You know, Holiday Inn was doing the same thing. Was like, we just want to make sure that every time you book and stay at a Holiday Inn, that you get the same experience, so that you know what you're expecting. Right. You have all these choices, so you don't get a Motel 6. So you don't get this, so you know, you can almost bank on the fact that, you know what, I've seen all these other choices. I'm gonna stick to the Holiday Inn.
Right.
It's like a fucking hamburger. Right. I mean, it's like you go to a place and you just get a burger. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to the burger.
I'm gonna stick to the burger. Right.
There's too many choices. You got funny names and you should.
Which is why Airbnb has gotten so huge because it found a niche in that market where it's individual, but at the same time, it's not bougie to the fact that somebody's gonna be in your face all the time. So it's individual, as in this is going to be a nice place. It's going to be comfortable, blah blah blah. You know, so it's nice and it's different. So it satisfies that thing you have of having an individual experience. Yeah. But it allows you the opportunity to now you can enjoy this however you want. So if you want to go to the store and get your own shit, right? Fine, go ahead. You know, I got some stuff here. You're more than welcome to use it. But if you don't want to use it, fine, don't. Go ahead and go get your own stuff. And it's sort of like this tailored, custom lived-in experience.
Well, the bed and breakfast experience, which is what it stands for, you know, in the air was, you know, the kid Ben, whatever his name is, kid who invented it or whatever else. It's Ben something, Benjamin something, whatever. He just said, look, we rented a bed and breakfast, and we had one more friend come over, and we put an air mattress out. That's all it was. So it came from Airbnb, and he said, this is great. You could put one more out here, and we stay at this bed and breakfast. And why don't we call up some other friends and see if they'll allow us to do it? And it just became this little network. And don't try to rub up on me, Theo. They started this little network, and it worked. Yeah. But that experience then grew to something, you know, worldwide. But I started to see something else prior to that. So Moxie, the brand called Moxie Hotels, is doing that now. So they're definitely afraid of Airbnb, as you know, in the hotel business.
Put a huge stamp in the market.
It took $30 billion of revenue away somewhere in that.
Listen, I use every time I travel.
I use Airbnb. We have a different experience because my wife, she likes it, but she likes the idea of it. Doesn't always like the location. So it's always she likes the concept. If they were in better, but if they were in better places, they'd be hotels. You know, if they were in the strip mall, you know, and in commercial areas. It's weird to go in someone's backyard through the back door. You're reading the keys under the flower pot. You know, that kind of. If you have to be daring, you have to know that lifestyle exists, and you have to be willing to do that. And that's why at some point, it was marketed to this younger millennial crowd that kind of didn't mind sharing things.
Didn't mind sharing things. Yeah. They would probably travel and go staying in a hostel.
I mean, I stayed in a hostel in London when I was working on that project out there, and it was probably one of the most interesting experiences I've had. All good, nothing bad, nothing crazy, but it was so young that they called me the old guy. They was like, hey, you the old man.
You the old man. You 37.
They're like, yo, come out with us. We're going out to Leicester Square tonight. We're going to go get some Chinese food. And then we're going to go stop by this. There's a guy performing at this pub and this lounge. And I'm like, how do you guys know where all this stuff is? Like, they just seem to have this web. Like, are you on a website?
Of information that just,
This is pre-Facebook. This is pre, Twitter and all this other stuff, social media. I mean, there was a few things around, like MySpace was around and stuff. But I didn't know where they were getting this community information from.
Well, that's different. That's different between Europeans and Americans.
Right.
Because Europeans travel. Yeah. By the time you're 18 years old, there's a good chance that you have, if you lived in England, there's a good chance you've gone to France, Spain, Germany. Yeah. You know, you get your passport relatively. Exactly. You hop on a train, and it's not uncommon to have people who are in high school saying, I'm going to see a friend in France for the weekend, or I'm going to Germany for a week, and then you go on your own other vacations with your family, and you go to places.
But the distance is no different than going from here to Brooklyn.
I mean, no, it's not. But the thing is that when you do that, then you incorporate different cultures, you incorporate different languages, you
Yeah.
incorporate different ways of doing things.
Foods.
You know, right? When you go from here to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
it's kind of almost the same thing. You know,
It gets that way,
it
but
almost
it
gets
is.
to be the same thing.
You know what? If you didn't live here, you wouldn't think that. So people from Europe come
Yes,
here and they
yes.
go, I want to go to Harlem.
Right.
Then I want to go to Queens.
Yes.
Then I want to see Williamsburg.
Right.
So they think it's like that. They think, there's a Polish community here.
Right.
There's a Jewish community
Right.
here. Where's Chinatown? We live here. We're just used to it. So I
Right.
think we don't get to. That's always been one of our, like, my wife and I did one, I think of our anniversary, we just hung out in Manhattan, like tourists.
Yeah.
And it was like the most amazing thing. It was like,
yeah, you forget all this shit is here.
well, I work in the city, but when for some reason at nighttime it's different. Like I could go where I go because I navigate. You'd probably walk to your job with your eyes closed. Get out of my way!
Right.
Go, and you don't. But then when you looking like this and you go, hey, what's
What's
what
that?
they
Right.
sell in that store?
Right.
What's this Ricky's? What's in here? Oh, what's the strip club? Oh, we went to the Museum of Sex. We went to the Empire State Building.
Mhm.
We went like real New York shit, and we were like,
Right.
this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Museum of Sex was awesome. You ever been in there?
No, I haven't. I've
Oh,
always
it's a
wanted
great
to go.
place.
It's on the seaport, right?
No, it's on 28th Street somewhere, 28th and 5th, like
Okay.
on the corner. Exit through the gift shop, of course. It starts off, you go up, it's like Game of Death. You got towers. You got to go to the top, and then you go down. Once you make it to the top, you've nutted. You've had an orgasm.
You're climaxed.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It starts off with the first floor is Linda Lovelace
Okay.
and the story of Deep Throat. And, like this, somehow they kind of made her like the mom of porn. Like
Okay.
she like invented Deep Throat and all this other stuff. Obviously, she died. Ironically, she died of throat
A
cancer.
throat cancer, yeah. Which is, yeah.
That's fucking weird. That's karma. We'll take that back because then they won't do it anymore, and they'll say, "No, I don't want throat cancer. Look what happened to Lovelace." That sounds like a skit. But yeah, so you go through these things, and then they have like like the bouncy ball thing, or a big, when you take you're in your socks, and you just take your shoes off, and you just jump. It's a bounce room, but it's titties.
Ah.
They're all nipples, brown nipples, pink nipples. Me and my wife jumping
Jumping around
tits.
playing with nipples.
It's insane. And then they have just think of a carnival, right? The horse races, and you gotta throw a skee ball in the fucking thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, they got a cock, and there's a vagina at the end, and you gotta keep throwing the ball and make sure you go tick 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 ding. You win, yay! You got a little fuzzy fucking cock ring and shit. It is hilarious, man. It's super adulty, but it's not off limit to kids. Like it's kind of like be of age
If you're a
or
mature
whatever.
kid.
Mature, you got to be really mature. It's not raunchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very educational. There's a whole floor dedicated to animal sex, not human and animal.
Right.
Showing how birds fuck and how like wait what. Or squirrels and shit that you'd be like, wait a minute, huh? It's
you figure they gotta do it.
I know, but it's one of those things that you don't get to see. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird how they have it now. The unmature person goes, I don't see no fucking animals fucking and shit like that.
No.
They show a fucking rhinoceros mount rhinoceros. This is some carnage here, man. So this is like a car getting smashed. Like
You're gonna have my baby, or you're gonna fucking die.
A fucking rhinoceros? I mean, shit. And you know what? You can't help it, but oh shit, he's got. That's like a car crash. It's like a train wreck. I mean, but it is educational. It's cool.
Choose your rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Choose your rhinoceros carefully.
And then at the Empire State Building, and we get up there, and I fucking blew it because I had my pocket knife with me. I carry like a little.
Oh, okay. And they wouldn't let you on there?
No, they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to let you have my knife.
So they wouldn't take it, like you can get it back?
No, you don't get it back. You just take it, and can't guarantee you get it back. It's
okay.
Contraband. It's confiscated, and they throw it in. They keep it. I'm sure they don't.
They got this knife.
It's crazy, man. My leather man does kind of everything for me. So then I just went to the bar. I went to Blackers and dropped it off with Mark. I was like, yo, hold this for me, man. Right around the corner. It was like, great to have good bartenders in town. Dropped it off at your bartender. Who could do that shit?
That's a great idea. Drop it off at your local bartender.
Well, with him, I mean, he's gone back to Ireland. Yeah, he's gone back to Ireland.
To the old country.
Yeah, to the old country to help his family. He had some immigration issues and whatever else, but now his family's opening a bar out there. So if you're still watching, Mark, Duff. But with his bar, with that bar, it's cool. I liked about it because I could always, like, if I had customers in the city I was dropping shirts to, I use it like a storefront. I'm like, look, see with him, leave it with the bartender. They can come in, grab their shit. Well, you don't need this hand-to-hand interaction. Go to the bar and while you're there, buy a drink with the guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'd give him a cut. I'd give him 10% of whatever it was.
Cool.
Yeah, he's doing me a favor. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, it's fine. He'd be like, yeah, just keep them coming, you know. And I give the money right back to him anyway.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
Buying fucking drinks.
Yeah, turn it right back around.
Yeah. So, speaking of having drinks, was at Rudy's the other day, and the kid from Creighton.
Yeah, I saw that. I was there, and I bounced after a bit because
you had to go home. Yeah.
I didn't. I shouldn't say I wanted to get. Well, yes, I did want to get home.
Yeah.
I did not want to drink a lot that night.
Good for you.
Because I knew that was going to
happen. Good for you.
But looking at your posts,
good for you.
You did not make that choice.
No, so, I was already having a bad day. Bad day.
Right.
There was a lot going on. I had clients that I had to run around with. I was, like they want to do shit in Manhattan, and I'm like, guys, I want to go home.
Right.
Like the meeting's over. Like we did that already. Like you want to bar hop? You don't want to go, and then you don't want to go to places I want to go. You want to go places you heard about. Like I'm not your fucking tour guide. You know what I'm saying? So you can go here. They wanted to go to the garden because the games. I was like, I can't get you tickets. And I'm not,
Can we just get in? Yeah. It ain't like that.
No, I'm not a concierge and shit like that. I said, you want to go to a real fucking bar? You know what I'm saying? You want to go to a real New York bar? It was like, where? Come to Rudy's. And they no, they didn't want to come. Yeah, they wanted to go to someplace, whatever.
Someplace pretty.
So anyway, but the kid from Creighton. So I'm looking at him and I'm like,
now did you know him?
Yes.
Was he a PD Nation dude?
No, he wasn't one of our kids. I known him because he had played at Adelphi.
Right.
And it's the weirdest thing is that I had saw a piece like one of these because of the Big East. They were talking about the Big East, and they were talking about some stories. And I had asked I Googled it before seeing the kid. Before seeing the guy there, I had Googled because I didn't know where Creighton was.
Right.
And I didn't know that they popped on they've been hitting like a big school in the last 10 years. 5 to 10 years. I've never heard of Creighton like that. You know
really?
What I'm saying? I'm not a big NCAA fan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I YouTubed it. And it showed him, the 6'10" standout from transferred from Adelphi. I'm like, what? The guy transferred from Adelphi. So I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, I swear that's him. And he had a Creighton shirt on.
Okay.
So he gave himself away. So I was like, hey, you Manny Suarez? And the guy goes, bro, you know who I am? You know who I am? Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, you know who I am, bro? I'm honored, man. I said, say something for the kids, man. He was cool. And I was like, what's going on? Aren't you playing? It's the Big East tournament, man. He was like, we're out, bro.
He said, we're bouncing. I'm gonna hit the bar.
We're out. Providence kicked their ass, and they were out.
Providence is a good team.
Yeah, my man, cool.
So you knew him just from highlights of Adelphi.
The funniest thing ever was I just saw a YouTube video of him while I was watching to see who was winning the Big East. I had just Googled Big East standings, and this was 2 days ago. He just happened to be in the fucking bar. It was just happenstance, and I'm looking at him like, you know how shit on you're like, damn.
And all of a sudden you look up and it's
there.
The real thing.
It happened in real life. This is happening. So I'm like,
your YouTube came to life.
Yeah, my fucking Google is like surrounding me with shit that shit that's just popping up, which wouldn't be the first time that it happened. But
so you're Manny Suarez.
Yo, the guy was.
He said, "You know who I am."
He went nuts. He was told you. He was telling his friends, he's like, "Told you, this is the goat right here."
El patrón.
Yeah.
This is el patrón. This is el patrón here.
This is the guy.
El patrón aquí.
he was like, "This is the guy." He was so excited. I was like, "Dude, I just happened to know the kid just from a just from
It was
a
a coincidence.
I just a coincidence.
Coincidental.
It wasn't like I've been following him and it was tracking him. It wasn't, you know. Oh, you put it up there.
I'm back here
Oh.
with Jordan Peterson.
No,
You didn't
it's not
cast
what it is.
properly.
Cast properly.
Yeah, so that was just funny, and he was super excited, and he was getting hammered. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, "You sure I don't want to mess this up for you?" You know,
I don't think that's right.
this, you know, weirder things have happened.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, and I think that was like last year's season or whatever
Yeah.
else. 6'10", big motherfucker,
big dude, man.
big dude. But that's when he was at Adelphi, right?
This is Adelphi.
yeah, because he's in his he's playing against Pace.
Yeah. Nobody's in there.
Nobody's in. So for him to go to Creighton, because Creighton's in
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm asking him. I was like, "What the hell made you want to go to Nebraska?" And he was like, "Yo, man, it's an opportunity. Play Division
Right,
One.
Division One ball.
Give
This
out."
is him at.
Yes,
Creighton.
senior tribute. Right. So this was earlier this month. Indeed. Yeah, because he was like, "I'm done. Ain't nothing they can do to me now." Like, you know. I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, you're in the bar with me drinking. Are you supposed to be doing this?" He was like, "Dude, season's over, bro. I'm out." Yeah, he's going overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going pro. But I mean, he's a good kid, man. He's got it. He's got the goods. I mean, I don't know how athletic. I mean, you probably could watch more of him or whatever
Right.
else. I had no idea, like him, like it was not like I'm following him or he was like
Right.
a big guy to watch out for or whatever else. But
That's cool.
shit, he
That's
gave
to
Two
him,
Bros podcast a shout out.
Shout
So
out
there
to
you go.
Shout
Shout out
This
Manny
is the goal
Suarez.
del patron.
Check that out. But yeah, man. So Big East Villanova. Shout out to Villanova.
Did they win the Big East?
Fucking Jay Wright is like the George Clooney of NCAA.
He is. Yeah. He's like about as he's about as like
I'm gonna see if you say the.
God-like
I'm gonna see if you say the word that everyone says with him. There's a word.
that they use for Jay Wright.
Yes.
Wow, I don't know what that. I mean, he's a great basketball coach, but he's kind of like almost like on like a deity level now. Like
So-
from what he's done at Villanova.
I was gonna see if you were gonna say it, just even by mistake. Say it. Stoic.
Oh, he's stoic.
No matter where you go, he's just stoic. He's just stoic. I'm like, okay, I had to go fucking look up the word. Like, you know, everyone.
Jay Wright.
Everyone says he's just got the same demeanor. He keeps himself cool. The highlight, the game is so fucking, you know, on the line, everything, and he's just, you know.
Because the impression I have of Jay Wright is a little bit different.
You could type in, if you type Google, just type Stoic, and fucking Jay Wright's name comes up. Jay Wright reaction. I've looked it up so many times, and I'm like, why do they keep saying Stoic? He's stoic. He's just stoic. He's
Just what? Because he just like it looks the same.
Yeah. But he's got a Joseph A. Banks line of
Oh, does he really?
suits. Yeah.
Guess we got him.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be cool. I want to see this.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to get the music.
Yeah, you gotta take that down. But he was at Hofstra. He was here.
He
right?
was, yeah, he was at Hofstra. He played at Villanova,
Yeah.
and then
Coached here.
coached at Hofstra, coached somewhere else, and then I think he was an
Couple schools?
assistant coach at Villanova, and then became the head coach at Villanova.
But I think he's something, right? He's like Persian or something.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's something. Indian. Oh, I know he's something.
He's Italian, right?
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, he's Italian.
Maybe that.
Yeah.
See, I got a different impression of Jay Wright because I remember seeing when I would watch college basketball and when the Big East was the Big East.
The Big East, the real Big East.
I remember him going off on people, and
From Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry donated
I
a
can't
ton of
find it.
a new center in Villanova.
Oh, did he?
At the
Okay.
school. It's good to see that when you see players come and give back. To
Yeah,
the
you said. I
institutions.
think it happens a lot more than we hear.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot more guys do that. Like for instance, there are a lot. I know of a lot of players who've like taken, like if they become ultimately ultra successful and whatnot, they actually pay back their scholarship that they got. And they just say, okay, well, let's use that to build something or whatever. I mean, they end up doing that, but they end up like actually giving back the scholarship
that's
and saying, hey, provide this much amount
give
of
it
money
to somebody
in scholarships for somebody else.
Pay it
And
forward.
a lot of times they specify not for athletics. This is for something like we want to accentuate the student and student athletes. So yes, make sure that this amount of money is given for scholarships to other kids and stuff because
we
talked
talked
about
last
this before.
week.
It's like that, like NCAA is borderline freaking criminal. With some of the shit that they do and some of the shit that they get away with. And like you said, there's little like nicks now happening in that foundation. This thing might crumble as we know it. We might have to change this format and shit.
Well, I think Avery Johnson just did something, right?
The guy from Alabama.
Yeah, they brought some charges or said he was involved with something, and again, allegedly, I heard it through a drunk conversation with some friends that he pulled out some paperwork on the football team and said, "Oh, do we want to go there?"
Oh, okay.
And had like stuff, like had proof of saying, "Oh, my program, the basketball program, we're all under the athletic direction of X, and he does this for that." So
which means that the whole fucking shebang is crooked.
It's crumbling.
The whole shebang, and we can't. And the other thing we can't do is we can't like seem to quantify what is valuable and what is not valuable because yes, there's a lot of shady shit that goes on, but unfortunately there's some coaches who've actually done some good things by their kids. Yeah. Like there's a guy who used to coach at Utah. His name was Rick Majerus. He had a kid whose father passed away, and he lived on the other side of the country, and the kid couldn't afford to get home. His family wasn't that well off, and he couldn't afford to get home. So he bought the kid a plane ticket to go home so that he could be with his family after his father died.
Did they say that was a violation?
Yes, that was a violation.
That's fucked up.
That was a violation because money came out of your pocket to this amateur athlete, and you should not do that. I'm not a big, for all the shit that Rick Pitino has done. Right. He's talked about times where they were, like when they were like on the road and like a bus broke down or something like that. He couldn't go into his pocket and buy food for his kids. He would have to literally take like money out of his pocket, put it down like in front of a graduate assistant and say, hey, if you want to do the right thing, go ahead, but you can do whatever you want to do with that. He couldn't say, hey, make sure these kids get something to eat or make sure you guys get something to eat.
Well, because I remember like when, Ron used to travel and used to go to different games and stuff, and they would get checks. Like the kids would get, the athletic department would pay the kids stipends. They would get travel money and stuff like that for any mishap or whatever else. And he put his shit away. Like Ron would tuck all his checks away and come home and cash, and he was like $4,000. And I'm like, what? Where did you get this money from? And it's like, yo, this is all the checks they gave us for, doing. I don't know if it was that much, but it was a number. It was a number. It was a lot of money, and I was like, this ain't no pizza money. This is not. They said, yeah, they do this to make sure because there's no craft surfaces and stuff. So go buy your shit something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's part of the package. It's part of the.
All right. Well, if that's I got no problem with athletes being compensated in that way. Yeah. It's not like their scholarship, and unfortunately, it's not like their scholarship takes care of their education because they can't take their education as serious as they take their athletics. No. They definitely have to make a choice.
These guys on the road playing 50, 60 games.
They're borderline professional fucking athletes. I mean, that's the life they have to live as a professional athlete. And so if a kid says, hey, I want to go on a track to do engineering, they're going to say, no, you're on a track to play basketball. Right. You will take this schedule, and that's it. You want to do engineering, and you do that shit on your own time,
No, but like, I remember Marist had their football team had a weird conference, and their MAC football team, a school in San Diego was in their conference. So it's like, yay, we get to play San Diego. Like, they loved it because they get to go to California.
Right.
And it's like, this is a week thing for them. Like, this is not just go down and back.
Right. That's at least a 4-day trip.
4-day trip. Yeah. It's like the whole week. We're leaving Sunday night. You get there, you come back Friday. You ain't going to class Friday. You're dead tired. And you get the weekend. You get study hall and all that other stuff. So it's a lifestyle. But why would you book a comp? Like, why would that? It should be local, and
Well,
then
that's-
it
that-
should go this way. It should spiral
that goes
out.
that goes beyond
That's what I
anything
mean.
else.
Like,
It has
that's
nothing
the
to do with
NCAA
anything
is
else.
just crazy. Like when they do
And,
shit
and
like
apparently football dictates the structuring of the conferences.
Yes.
Football programs dictate how the conferences are going to be
which
structured.
is what happened to Syracuse,
Right.
which is why they
Right.
bumped out of the.
Well,
Big
but
East.
that's why the whole Big East got reshuffled.
Yeah, because
You
of
know,
football.
because there were schools that had football, there were schools that did not have football,
Right.
there were schools that, and then I think
Our football team's in the ACC, but our basketball's in the Big
right,
East.
right. And don't they have like a?
But
Don't they
what's
have
so
a
wrong
Catholic
with that?
league?
I don't. What's so wrong with that? I don't.
I think everything should be. To
School.
me, that's clearly
Right.
That's clearly a monetization
Yeah.
of
Okay, I got
what it should be.
Yeah, I got you.
Your school's in Syracuse, you're in the East.
You should play people.
You should play people in that
Right.
in that region.
I get
And
it.
if there's a question of competition, okay, well then fine. Then you go out and recruit. You can go out and recruit whatever you want. You
Right, you
can
can get a kid
you-
from
You
California.
can get that stud from
You
California
get
or
those
from
African.
Wyoming
These
or
Africans
whatever.
are coming in. At a
But he's
high level.
coming back over here and playing in this region.
Dude,
you
what you call it, the G League guys, the development leagues, the only NBA guys
The
that
Gatorade League.
Gatorade League. I think that was a mistake. I should have just left it development.
Right.
Powered by Gatorade.
Right.
This way, we left it for next year, someone else to be it. That's like making the entire league a product. That's
product of
weird.
Gatorade,
That's
right.
weird. It's like saying the Coke League. But they have these guys that are international, the scouts and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. These motherfuckers are camped out in Africa. They got an office in the Congo.
Mhm.
They have all these Middle East, India, and all this other stuff, which they can't find, any product out there. They had one kid from India that was like 7, 10,
Right,
or whatever
right.
else. He turned out to be a bum. They thought they were going to sign him to Sacramento Kings because
Okay.
the owner was Indian, and the guy was
Oh,
like,
the owner's Indian of Sacramento.
yeah, it's an Indian guy, Manesh, is a Patel or something like that.
I thought there were two brothers that owned the Sacramento.
It's the Maloof brothers.
Weren't there-
Was it
I thought they were-
Sacramento or no? I know who you're talking about, but I'm more than positive it's an Indian guy now.
Okay,
Now
all right.
you were right. There were two internet guys that.
Yeah.
But that was back when
That's when they were contending.
But that's when it was a bunch, right? And it was when a bunch of the internet guys owned like the 76ers kid. What's the guy?
The guy, yeah, I know
he
you're
was
talking
kind
about.
of
He was an internet dude.
Yeah.
With Mark Cuban, of course. Now.
Yeah,
Still
all these
around.
guys are all.
That's how
There was a
made their money.
big internet
The
.com.
.com
the
guys.
.com
and
guys.
that's how they made their money. They made
Steve
their money
Ballmer,
by giving us
Ballmer's one. Like, all
Right.
these guys came from the internet world. I mean, it's pretty
making their money
interesting.
and then selling it.
Interesting, acquisition and acquiring and selling. And buy low, sell high. Pork bellies. Pork bellies. Still a classic movie. But, Trading Places.
In which you want to make a bacon, lettuce, and
Tomato.
tomato sandwich.
Mortimer. Yo, they sold us out for $1. To watch Dan Aykroyd flip all the way and then
And come back. Yeah.
come back and
Well, that's it. That's the classic story, right?
Yeah.
Like the status and the fall and then the rise again. And then you rise back with new information.
with a hooker was always involved. Jamie Lee Curtis was a hooker. Make no mistake, she was a prostitute, and that whole thing changed where it was like, then all of a sudden she had a heart, and
Right,
she wanted to help the guy.
Right.
The guy was down on his luck, and so the question is, did it help her or did it help him? Like which one? And I think they helped each other,
They
right?
kind of helped each other.
story.
Well, hold the what? The Pretty Woman was another
Same
one.
thing.
It's the same idea.
Same
you know?
concept. Yeah.
Like he needed some form of companionship or
Yeah.
pseudo companionship, and she needed a leg up, and so
She needed a shot.
she showed him a little how to be not so stringent or whatever the fuck.
How to
it is.
relax.
How to relax. Or
Yeah.
just, whatever. I mean, we take these concepts and we just simply repeat them over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeats coming. We talked about Death Wish with this
The
guy,
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out.
Well, it's like
New
for
for
guys
someone
like you,
else,
it's new for
right.
someone else.
Right.
Like dudes who are like 10 years younger than us.
Right.
It's a new thing for us. We've seen that with Charles Bronson and his face and the guy with the thin mustache and for somehow we like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because we just identify him with this sense of like
Charles Bronson.
macho-ness.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah, it just like when you look at it now, you're like,
God.
you're kind of fucking. It's kind of
Hideous.
corny, dude.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kinda,
corny.
but at the time, it was like that's a man. You want to be a man. You want to be like Charles
It was
Bronson
him,
or
Clint
Robert
Eastwood.
Mitchum, and the Clint Eastwood.
It was
and
the
then
squint. It was the.
It was the
What
it's
is
just that,
that?
you didn't care about anybody else.
You better back up, Unc.
The buck authority.
Yeah.
You can have your structures. I'm beyond your structure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I get the job done. I don't do paperwork.
It was probably the same thing, though. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
like it appealed to a bunch of people who had to get up the next day and go to their fucking shitty job anyway.
Yeah.
So it really didn't matter what happened before or after that. It's just
Exactly.
that, okay, this is what you were, and you idolized this dude
Right.
who did his own fucking thing.
Oh,
Come on through.
Come on through.
Say hello.
Hi.
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 Introduce yourself.
Hi.
Welcome.
I'm the wife.
Cheese.
Alright, see you later.
We saw Theo.
Hi,
Theo
brother.
came by and said
Theo
hi
made a
to
guest
us.
Oh, wow,
appearance.
he's gonna be
He
famous.
is famous. He was famous on episode 7 or 8, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. That's my wife. My wife passed through.
Yes,
My lovely wife, Teresa, who won't do the podcast. For some reason, they neither
Nah,
one want.
they're afraid. They're afraid of the cameras. My wife thinks she's a vampire.
So like
thinks
she's soul
yeah.
shouldn't get taken. You're gonna
People
dry up.
see me. I said, you know what happens when you walk by in the street? People see you.
All the fucking time. All day,
You
every
walk around.
day. A long time ago, I remember I was on the subway. No, I was on the bus when I lived on 113th in Murdoch. And I got on the bus and I had my a remember those Altoid mints?
Yes.
They come in a
Tin?
They come in a tin.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I opened my tin up and I pop a mint in my mouth.
Okay.
And there's one woman who's sitting across in another chair. She stops and stares at me, just like this. And so you look up, you see her staring, you just look away, you turn back around, this bitch still staring at me. And I finally asked her, I said, is everything okay? Is there an issue? She says, you take a picture to me.
Huh?
You take a picture to me? She thought I was fucking, she thought that the mint tin was a camera.
Oh.
She said, you take a picture to me? You try to take, and she said something like, you're trying to like take my soul or some shit like that. This was apparently, and forgive me for being this, people are going to get pissed off if they hear this, but it's some fucking Haitian nut job who fucking thinks that, the voodoo doll is going to come and
some people believe that.
swing around and shit like that. And I tried to explain. I said, no, it's not. It's just I popped something mint in my mouth. And then she kept saying, don't take the picture to me.
That happened to me on a train.
And I said, I'm going to walk away. I'm gonna find a different seat.
That happened to me on a train, and I had I forgot what phone it was. I think it was my BlackBerry or whatever. Maybe I had a Nextel or something, and the LED flasher was set to flash when I got a message. Like the red light at the top. So every time your phone rang, it beep beep. Like my daughter now, every time she gets a text message, her light camera flashes. I said, turn that shit off. It's annoying.
It's annoying as fuck, but yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? But if she's holding her phone, reading it like this, and the camera's facing this way, and it flashes,
it looks like you took
a picture. Yeah. So the lady's like, I'm sorry, did you just take a picture of me? And I'm looking, and I'm reading, and I'm going, huh, you talking to me? Like, I got my headphones on. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What happened? She said, you took a picture of me. And I was like, don't flatter yourself. No. But I saw it flash, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, there's a camera there. No pictures of you. I don't have that much memory on my phone. She was like, just like had this sourpuss look on her face, and I was like,
now what if you flipped that? Now what if you said something like,
yes.
Well, of course I took a picture of you. I can look. How am I going to get past my day without seeing somebody as beautiful as you and not being able to recapture that? I mean, forgive me for being forward, but for the love of God, please tell me you have time for coffee.
I'm not that crafty with the words as you so eloquently put it. I couldn't do that, but not sure that would have went down that way if I would have. I could not have mustered that conversation. It would not have come out that way.
Because sometimes a person who would assume that is a person who has this.
They probably want that.
Right.
Yeah,
Who's kind of like wants that
I
attention,
get it.
so to speak.
I get it.
Sometimes.
Get it.
Now, of course, nobody. Like if I saw somebody flash something in my face, I would be. You take my picture. I mean, I personally wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
But okay, fine. But a lot of times it's that person who, like, really wants you to take. Wait a minute, are you showing me some attention? Well, I can't let you know that I'm appreciative of this shit, so I'm gonna do just the opposite.
That's fucking weird. No, that is weird. But but that's the thing with human interaction, right? We talk about it all the time, where there's just people just don't know how to react to. If you had said that, if the conversation did go that way,
Right.
there's very little interact. Like there's very little. It's freeze.
You're not, right. You're not set up
Oh,
for that. You're not set up for that response.
Oh, I thought I heard you say something. Let it put that down,
Right.
like because that's what it would turn to.
Right.
It wouldn't go any further than.
Well, we're not even set up for like basic interaction though. I mean, we ignored that. When I was on the train the other day, a girl had got on the train, and one of her she was doing something on her phone. One of her earrings came out. I think she was putting like buds in her ear.
Yeah.
But one of her earrings fell on the train. The train wasn't that crowded, but this other woman saw it, grabbed it, and handed it to her.
Yeah.
And the woman just took it from her and didn't say shit.
Yeah.
Just grabbed this, and I'm standing right next to her, and me and the woman, we kind of like gaze eyes at each other, and I'm like, what the like, so no,
maybe
like,
there was something you didn't know.
thank you, maybe no, thank you, oh my God, thank you very much, I appreciate that. Like nothing,
Nah.
none of that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's horrible. Yes, okay, fine. You don't want to respond to the, you're beautiful, I'm taking your picture, shit like that.
No,
But kind of
no.
the basic shit we should be able to do.
Yeah, I think people have a huge problem with communicating. It's just not set up. You're right. We ran out of words.
Yeah.
We have,
Yeah.
this QWERTY language,
Right.
which is
why I think
horrible.
Which is why I think you and I love bars, because you can.
Yeah.
It's almost like the bar is like set up for that.
Right.
Like if you don't want to communicate with anybody, don't go to a fucking bar.
Right. There was, before you got there's a guy. I was reaching over him or whatever
Mhm.
else, and I said, "Pardon me, bro. You cool?"
Mhm.
And the guy said, "It's a fucking bar, dude." Like, what I'm saying? He said, which is what I wanted to say, and he beat me to my own punchline because I was gonna say, this is a bar, right? Like I'm bumping you because I need a drink. You're sitting here at the place where they sell the stuff. You're gonna get some, interaction here. You can't just be in your own little space. If not, you can wait for one of those little chairs over there. And he said the response that I wanted to say. He was like, "Dude, it's a bar.
It's a bar.
Get your fucking drinks.
It's supposed to happen.
Beat it." You know what I'm saying?
It's what's supposed to happen.
I get it. He said, "Stop apologizing for touching me.
Uh-huh.
I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm sitting here." So that was cool. Like he understood it. I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's just some people don't know how to do bars.
Some people don't.
Some people don't.
And
know
some
how to
people
bar
stay on
etiquette.
stupid. Remember that time we were there, and somebody had gotten up from they were at the stool.
Yeah.
Somebody had gotten up from the stool, but had their stuff there on the stool.
Yeah.
And somebody else came in.
Yeah.
And said, "Is somebody sitting here?" And the bartender said, "Well, did you look at the fucking stool? What do you think? You can't." And he said something like, "You can't backtrack from stupid. You can't." So I can't backtrack you from stupid, dear.
That kind of just like. And then if there was, were you gonna take this garment up and move it somewhere? And what were you gonna throw it on the floor? What were you gonna
Exactly.
do?
Yeah.
Like, what were you gonna do?
Right.
So
Why can't we just assume that somebody else's shit is
Yeah.
here? Why don't we just assume that's a person's stuff,
and
not just some arbitrary thing that's like got left?
like hang out with 2 more seconds and you'll find out.
Exactly.
This will resolve itself in very short time.
Yeah.
But I think people just don't have the patience for it. Louis C.K. did it the best. I think he said it. He was like, our language is just turning.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
I'm waiting for Louis C.K. to come back.
I am too. I hope.
really.
I hope he's seriously like dungeoning writing, like
Exactly.
like coming out with some really.
It will be whenever he does, and I don't think we've seen the last of him.
No.
When he does, it will be huge because yes, I think everybody wants to see that, and I think we've gotten to a point where we realize that some of this shit is kind of ridiculous. I mean, yes, it's horrible,
No, it's hard. Yeah.
but
But I think now you're now seeing people are like foods like everything we're doing now. The locality of it all is. I think this is because of the internet and social media and stuff.
Mhm.
like people are not that removed from the corporate aspect of it as they were years ago. Which I mean by, if he does, the first thing on everybody's mind was, what network's gonna do it? Like who's got the ball? Is Netflix gonna do it?
Who's okay?
Like, see, people are now gotten beyond the message carrier and looking at, is it Verizon or is it AT&T? Who's bringing them? Who's
Okay.
supporting? Who's making all this
Okay,
money? Who's
okay.
going to give them $20 million?
Somebody's giving them a check. Who's
Right.
giving them a check?
Right. So I think people now are starting to see that that's how business works. Because
He also started the model. Like if you ever gone on his website, you can get all of his stuff on his website.
there's merch and all that stuff.
All of his specials
Yeah.
and stuff, and he does it at a relatively cheap, relatively moderate price. I think
That's
you
good.
can get every one of his specials for like $10
That's good.
or something like that.
That's good.
So what's going to prevent him from on his own model just putting out his own shit on his own website and doing stuff like that?
Well,
Why don't the I mean every once in a while we seem to go back to like some of the things like Monique said and stuff like that. What's preventing her from just putting out her content on stuff and then like driving up her own value?
Yeah, that came out. I mean,
You know?
they said that on a couple of the interviews that she had, and she was, I get it. We all know, we've seen it all. We don't have to go back and relive her stuff. But she's, and everybody's telling her like do the product, like let the product speak for itself.
Yeah,
like
they were saying that on there's this podcast I listen to called Friends Like Us. She's a woman who does it as a comedian named Marina Franklin. Fantastic. But yeah, some of our guests were talking about that. Most of them are black women, and yeah, they said the same thing. Who are comedians?
Right.
They said, look, the product will dictate everything.
Right.
So if you focus on the product will dictate whether you should have gotten 500,000 or a million or 2 million. But
the
the
banter
focus should
can't be
on the product. Right. The banter can't be
the product. That's not the product.
Right.
And like what you call it? What's the Wayne? Sean Wayne.
Marlon
Wayans. He said, he obviously wanted to stay neutral. I guess his comments were very neutral of who he's with, and he had said that Dave. How Dave Chappelle, because everybody was kind of mystified how he did what he did. He did all of that on his own. He filmed, toured, he did all of that, and then packaged it up and said, all right, I didn't release none of this shit. There was no cell phones allowed in any of these clubs, so it didn't leak.
Right.
If it did, it got one or two, some people had some footage, guy had 2 phones maybe, or whatever else. He said, but there's a slim chance that all of this stuff is going to be cream of the crop. Take it or leave it. Here's a number.
And he rebranded himself.
Yeah,
He rebranded. He would do when he came back and decided that he was going to re-energize his stand-up career. He would go like to a local park and just start doing his
skits.
Start doing 10, 15 minutes of his own thing.
That's dope.
And just did it on a corner and just started doing it, and then he used that as an audience. He didn't go to like the Comedy Cellar or anything like that. He just did it right on the corner, wherever he was, in New York and Los Angeles or whatever. He would just stop on the corner in a public street or a public park and start doing his shit there.
Do it, I guess.
And that's how he was like honing his craft, so to speak.
Sword, as they say. Yeah, dope.
And he turned down what was it? He turned down 50 million, and then
50 to make 150.
Yeah,
not bad. Not a bad gig. Not a bad gig. I mean, he did it very well. But that series is bonkers. I mean, it's super.
I didn't think I saw the last one. I think I saw all of them except the last one he put out. I did not see that.
Yeah, I saw all of them. I mean, he definitely he's got a cachet, and he could literally disappear for another 5 more years and still come.
Pretty much.
Like that's pretty cool. That you could just do that, get in, disappear again, and then come back.
Pretty much. I mean, and he's.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can't argue with the result.
No,
you can't argue with it. So that's another thing.
No.
Like he can, like you said, he can do it. Now he can just live his life the way he wants. There's no middleman. It's him controlling all this stuff.
Pretty genuine about it.
And
I think Chris Rock definitely took a page of his book and said, you know what, let me just be me. You guys, I'm going through my shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because he just went through a shitty divorce.
Yeah, he talks about it on his special.
I saw some of it. I stopped Tambourine. I stopped at the point where he talked about bullies. How we need some fucking bullies.
Yeah. It's true. We talk about this conversation all too often. And his is spot on, and he kind of did the Eminem. He just like put himself out there, saying, "Look, you know what? I got caught, you know, and I was cheating and his
Oh,
addiction.
he said that?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was talking about his addiction to porn and you know and all this other stuff, and he was like, "Yo, man, like, what fucking guy doesn't watch like quality porn? Like, you guys are missing out if y'all don't, you know." And he's got time for the hey, hi, goodbye, and stuff. Let's get right to it, you know. Fast forward, you know, was invented for, you know. He goes into it. He really has a good time with it, and he's somewhat come to terms with it. So I
Yeah.
guess it works. I guess it works for him.
But I mean, to me, that's what makes a great comedian.
Yeah.
What makes a great comedian is sort of like the authenticness from which they come from, and they don't, because some comedians can come off as preachy.
Yeah.
Like if you ever listen to Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
To me, Trevor Noah comes off as preachy.
Does he?
Yeah.
I think
he's
I
funny,
think the
but
accent.
I think
the accent kind of buries it a little bit, so that you get the South
Yeah.
African thing, and you're
so
not
it
sure.
comes like a foreigner, like
Yeah.
like with a foreign perspective.
'Cause
and it comes off
I
a little
make-
preachy to me.
I actually enjoy him trying to sound cool and
Yeah.
get the words right. You know,
Yeah.
that's the fun part to me. I like the product.
He needs to worry about his damn country. South Africa. Well, he's South African, right?
South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa's about to be fucked up.
They're gonna
They're gonna be
they're
another
gonna
Zimbabwe.
topple. They're gonna topple, and they're gonna they have a huge cash problem also.
Well, they got a huge cash problem, but they're also going about, in my opinion, they're going about fixing it the wrong way. This new president, who basically said, like, he got them to overturn their constitution, which basically said that he can take your land without compensating for it. So I think they have this idea that they're going to take all the white people who own property and take your shit and collectivize that property.
It's not. I mean, eminent domain is
That's not going to end up pretty. That's not going to end up pretty.
no. I mean, but you know, there's a lot of stuff in our Patriot Act says that. I mean, they can take your property for the government says, hey, we need to. There's a terrorist cell in this neighborhood. We need to commandeer your house. You go stay at a hotel, and we're going to stake out for you for 2-3 years. That's in the Patriot Act.
Yes, it is in the Patriot Act.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's also unconstitutional.
I know, but it's no different than what we have. I think we just have this. Never gonna happen to me. You know, not. It's
Right.
not. No one believes it'll happen to them until you know you get some shit where it's like, oh shit, the whole fucking town. Like, what do you mean the sheriff's closed? What do you mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
That would, because you end up with a murderous society.
Yeah.
That's what you end up with. You end up with the murderous society because there's no way you can enforce something like that without willing to be murderous.
Yeah.
You have to, as the state, be willing to be murderous because I don't know about you, but if somebody, they come to yours and say, "Hey, we're taking this."
Yeah.
You know, you got a couple of weapons in your
Yeah,
house.
but I can fight. I can
Yeah.
fight us. I can't fight a long battle. I can fight a short.
You can fight
battle.
a short battle, but it means you're gonna die.
It won't end up well for me.
Right, it won't end up well
Right.
for you.
Right.
Now multiply that by
Right.
other people, and then all of a sudden you have a government that's killed people to take over their property.
No, I know.
When we've said that we're going to cherish your rights as a property owner.
Right, but this is the same. You know, this is what happens with unifying a nation. Like when you see people too cozy together, this is why a lot of conspiracy. I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always said that that's the goal is to break everybody up, so there is no unity, so that you are not strong. So none of us are strong. If somebody came and knocked, your neighbor would go, I wonder what they did.
Right.
Your neighbor wouldn't come out and say, I know him, he's a good
Mhm.
guy, get the fuck away from me, and pull out their guns too.
Mhm.
So no, you see what I'm saying? So as today's world, we've sort of kind of separated, mind your fucking business, go in, you peep your head back in. Your neighbor's not going to stand up for you, your
Right.
brothers and all that stuff.
Right.
You call me and I'd come over and hey, but I gotta get here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And vice versa. So you have this whole disconnect of where would somebody die with you?
Where you going?
I go behind
What you
the-
doing?
See you later.
Festival
What are you
time.
doing?
Festival. Do they have like food at this festival? Is it like a real festival?
What
There's fucking signs
Irish?
all over the place. Festival.
I have no idea.
It's St. Patrick's Day. Isn't
I
it?
have no. I think
Today is St. Patrick's Day, bro.
No, it's next weekend, right?
You sure?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know because look. Usually, I like stay away from St. Patrick's Day.
I thought today
Yes.
because I got a notification from Waze and it says traffic closures due to St. Patrick's Day today. So it's very well could be that today is Siri.
Ask that chick. You got Siri in your phone?
Siri, when is St. Patrick's Day? I think I got Harry. That's Siri.
St. Patrick's Day is on Saturday,
Next-
March 17th,
yeah, next week.
2018.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. So maybe I was a week ahead because this is the week we are headed to the
That's why you got your shindig next week, right?
Next week, yeah. So we are out of here.
You should. Are you gonna record from there?
I always record. It's just a matter of how fucking cognizant I am for what I'm recording. It'll be interesting. I mean, we got a whole bus. We're leaving at about noon on Friday. Get up to the lodge, and it just starts. And so we had our little my team meeting last night for level 1.
Yeah.
And we're like, guys, last year we made a huge mistake. If you watch, there's a video on it, like when we're on the bus, like we filmed. Like I just set the GoPro up on a clamp, and you hear my boy Tim in the background. We ain't gonna make it. We ain't gonna make it. We ain't gonna make it.
Hey, what did you put it under?
What?
What'd you put it under?
I don't know. No, you know what? I think it's under. I think it's just Winterfest 2K17. I think it's private though. I did it private. Yeah, I did. I don't think it's public. Is it on there? No, but it would have to be on my page. That's a common name. I think it's not. I didn't think I put it private because I just had it just so people could see it when we were doing the party. But I mean, we filmed the shit load of it. Most of it's on Facebook. That's why. Facebook videos.
Okay.
They're Facebook videos. But then I culminated it back together and put it so that everybody could see how much fun it was. So we could sell more tickets for this year. And it worked. So people luckily gonna have a good time. Or you can eat lobsters, shrimps.
At some point, you gotta run out of lobster.
We're gonna find out.
At some point, you gotta run out of lobster.
These motherfuckers are gonna find out if they're gonna run out or not, because we definitely put them to test. And this year we learned a little bit from last year. We got little doggy bags and Ziplocs and stuff. Because one girl, right?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because let me tell you why. So last year, right? Our guest, Miss Sheehan Johnson, she brought a fucking griddle, right? She had a griddle. She was in her room. Now, mind you, she wasn't the only one. She must have known. She had a big fucking griddle on the top of the desk. They were making hamburgers in her room, like, because once the section meals is over, like you're right. In an hour for dinner time, you could only eat but so much.
Right.
But then you start drinking, partying. Then you're like, damn, I wish I had a little something. You want to eat again?
Okay.
So, went to her room. She had a cooler. She had burger patties, shrimps. They was making kebabs. They was doing the guy down the hall. Yo, 403 frying fish. You want to get fish sandwich? Like, what the fuck is going on? The hotel people abandon the place. They leave us alone. They say, let these motherfuckers just have it. And they just come in like with masks on Sunday, and they just spray the fucking thing down. They just get lasted. Yeah, they just come in there and they and you smelling fish in the curtains and they burn that motherfucker down. It's some weird shit, man. And so she had all these lobster tails, and so she put them back on the grill, and we was making lobster rolls and. Because the restaurants are closed.
Right.
Like this event is only, so you only have like the scheduled meals. You have breakfast, okay.
Right.
You can go to a snack machine. You can do that. Or you can order. People were ordering pizzas and all that stuff. Why? You got all that food. You know what I'm saying? So certain rooms had like fish fries going on. We got the little grill, so we're gonna bring it. Last year was this weekend,
right?
But it was freezing. It was -12. So we're hoping the weather's gonna be a little nicer.
Yeah, weather should be nice.
So we'll bring the little grill out in the back. You know what I'm saying? And still grill out in the backyard and have some fucking fun. We got a couple of comedians there, talent supposed to be there. Yeah, just comedy. You know, a lot of things change because these guys get booked. They get double booked. They, whoever pays deposits and stuff, and they don't sign these contracts in time. So we're hoping that. The comedian list and roster is what it is. A lot of people pay specifically.
Right.
Like, yo, I don't know if they're going because of that. I sent out my little letter to everybody telling them, make sure you bring what you like on the bus. So you can have some shit in your room. There's premium liquor all throughout the evening at the events. And then there's shitty liquor. These are hotels. Like it'll be 1 bottle of Ciroc and then 10 bottles of, $10 vodka.
Right.
That's normally how it goes. So I tell everybody, bring shit you like so that you can have your shit in your room. We took the whole bathtub, ice, nothing but bottles in there. No driving. No one's driving. No one's driving. And then in order to tip the bus driver, we just raffled off some cool gifts. So
Mhm.
I give away a Fire Stick, some Amazon Echoes, and
Okay.
fucking baskets of cheers and shit like that. And we give that money to the bus driver. It's
Okay.
better than just giving them a tip for nothing.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So we raffle off some shit. I think actually this somebody's getting a fryer, deep fryer.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see this thing? I saw this thing on one of the infomercials. It's like a grill, but it doesn't
We have
use it. But it doesn't. No, but it doesn't use.
Smokeless grill.
Right, it's a smokeless grill. It doesn't smoke. You have that?
My buddy has it.
Yeah?
Beazle has it. Yeah, that's coming up there
It's got
with
a
us.
cold pan on the bottom of it, so it doesn't really get hot. But all the
Infomercial junkie.
okay.
I got T-shirts that say "as seen on TV" because I just can't stop, man.
Uh-huh.
Air fryer. Now they bring out the air fryer oven, the deluxe with 3 racks on it, rotisserie on it. So I'm trying to sell this one I have and then get
Okay.
another one. I buy all that shit. The one thing I did buy that I took right back immediately because I got to my senses was the fucking, because I drink seltzer water.
Right.
I bought the soda machine.
Oh, the one that makes okay. Is that worth it?
No,
No. What does it do?
because you gotta buy the carbonated cans and the thing, and I'm like, I could just buy seltzer.
Well, you just buy seltzer.
Like they're dollars, you know, they're $3 for $2.
Uh-huh.
Why would I buy these soda streams? I thought the machine pumped it in.
Right.
I thought it was a
Pumped in
machine.
your CO2 and
Right.
Right. Okay.
No, you gotta buy CO2 cartridges to pump it in,
Hmm.
and then their little flavor. No, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I thought I could take tap water and pump it,
Right.
and that
And
would have been
that's
worth
it, huh?
it for me. Carbonate my own
It's
water.
amazing what they leave out in those fucking
Damn,
commercials.
man. And I
I'm
walk.
gonna give me something else to drink. You want something to drink?
No.
No. Water?
Nah.
I got these. Speaking of.
Pause it.
No, pause it.
No?
You can
Okay.
pause it. No, I'm coming right back. Speaking of these, got these like flavored waters.
Yeah.
Things.
Oh,
These are
I'll
pretty
try
good.
that.
Try that. It's pretty good.
Bye. Oh, this looks good. Oh, I seen it, but this is a different one in a black can. I seen it in a
I think
regular,
they
regular,
come in different cans.
yeah, little regular.
My wife got these though.
Yeah, in a white can. That's right. But I drank from GNC. I was standing out there with guitar player Will,
Uh huh.
as you saw in my post. That's my man. You know, I hired him for my birthday party.
You told me.
Yeah.
You said he didn't come. He didn't come, or
No, it wasn't his fault. It was my fault because I had flown out of town. I had the deposit money on me. I was supposed to meet him in the city to pay. And he told me, he called me. He was like, "Bro, I don't move unless I got that
Unless you
deposit."
get the money,
so
right.
you know, I know you good for it. I know you good people. I tip them all the
Yeah.
time. And he was like, "I just can't afford to do that and get on the train and put myself out there.
Understood.
Come drop that deposit and I'll pay." And then he said it don't matter anyway because the rain. He wouldn't have came because it rained.
Oh, he wouldn't have come because it rained.
Because his amp and all that shit. He was like, "Nah, unless it's indoors." That was his only thing. Like he didn't want to
Right.
be outside. So he's a good dude, man. I love his style, man. But he's a little funny though. He's got his own little twang and twist to it, and he got a lot of man, I used to do this. I used to play here. I used to, and you don't know nothing, man. You don't, he'll get very cranky on you,
Oh,
in
really?
a casual conversation. He will get cranky on you. I told him we was gonna do an interview with him and all that stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I'm down, whatever," but you don't hear my story.
The deposit gotta be right.
Yeah, the boss. No, but we're looking. We're gonna probably do him for a level 1 event. We're having a Christmas party, so that's gonna be our next thing. But we'll have some stuff during the winter and stuff. I mean, during the summer. But our end of the year, we're gonna do a holiday party at a hall in Rosedale. That should be fun. And we're gonna bring some live bands
Right.
and stuff we talked about. Remember doing the band in the yard?
Yeah, in the
type
yard,
thing.
right.
And I got all this fucking firewood in front of my house from all these trees that fell down. I was chopping up all these branches. I gotta finish today. I gotta burn all that shit.
Ooh. You going to burn it outside in the backyard?
I got a pit, I got a little fire pit.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But it's small, so I wish I had the bigger one that we have at Mario's at the cave because it's a big tube one that I could just shove them down in there. It's a little furnace.
Okay.
It's tall. That one's better because it can stand. I mean, I literally piled them up in the lawn. I feel like just poof, just setting it up.
Like it?
Yeah, I do actually. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yummy, yummy, fucking yummy.
Other than that, man,
I like that hat.
cool gray. It's like a wool
Like that
gray
little
look.
gray, yeah.
Little wool gray look. So this shirt was interestingly enough. Did I talk about this on one of the podcasts?
About that particular
This
shirt?
particular shirt. We went to Barbados.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked about it with Kev, right? When we were with Kev. So this is the shirt that I wore walking through Barbados.
Oh, right. They said you can't wear your
They,
fatigue
they
shit.
pulled up on me in an armored truck.
Mhm.
Yabba-bum. I'm like, hey, nothing going on here. Just going to the store. They was like, you impersonate a police officer. I was like, what? Police officers wear
Yeah.
this? Winter camo? I thought I was doing some, switching it up here. They was
Right.
like, nah, take it off. I was like, all right, when I get back. Not now. I'm like, now? And okay. But I'm taking it off from the street, man. He's got a machine gun.
Yeah.
He's got a machine gun on top of the car, like on top of the truck.
God.
Take your shirt off, man.
Man, like some imperialism.
Walk back in my wife beater.
Fucking savages. Like I said, that there was we're in this new place at work. It's
That is
got
pretty good.
It's got a kitchen in it.
Yep.
But it's apparent that nobody has fucking kept this thing clean. Which pisses me off. It's like you got something, and it's a nice fridge,
Right.
but people, they spill shit and they don't clean it up.
Mm.
And so I had a shitty day, and so I went into the thing and I
Start cleaning.
cleaned, not cleaning. I just cleaned like I had a dish, so I was cleaning my dish and stuff. And I opened the fridge to I had a bottle of water in there. Get a bottle of water out of there, and I just looked at it and I'm like, and I closed it. So a security guard came in, and he said, what's wrong with the fridge? And I said, so whoever the fuck's been putting stuff in there just hasn't been treating shit right. You guys are acting like savages.
Yeah.
And he said, you calling me savage? And I said, are you the one who's fucking spilling shit in there?
Right.
He said, I put nothing in there. I said, oh, I'm not talking to you then.
Right.
You're not the savage.
You're
but
not.
whoever's fucking this up
This is
is a fucking savage. We've made the tacit agreement in this world that, hey, if you spill something, clean up your shit. It doesn't, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
So just if you spill something, hey, shit happens. Okay, fine. You didn't get to have your fucking salmon salad like you thought you were gonna have. Sorry about
No,
that.
that's pretty fucking
But can
selfish.
you clean the shit up though?
No, that's
so
selfish.
there's mold in there and shit like that. So we got like for my group, we got ourselves. They gave us actually a brand new small fridge. So we keep it in our room,
Right.
For our shit, so we ain't gotta mix with
And
those.
it's clean. And you take
Right,
care of
and
it.
we take care of it, and we don't mix with those goddamn savages.
Savages.
Like you fucking bunch of fucking savages.
No, but those are the same people that say they should clean this thing. It's
Right,
just
they.
horrible.
Yeah,
they should clean it.
They. Not-
Someone should come here. No, how about you?
How about you
it?
clean up after your fucking self,
Shit,
and then
I don't
everything
own
will be
this
fine.
thing. I don't own this
That's right.
fridge. Fuck, I'm cleaning this up. I don't even clean up at home.
That's right.
And you're gonna change the world.
Exactly. That's what we talked about when we first walked in here before we got our camera. So don't talk about changing what you can't even clean up after your goddamn self. But the fucking world should be right.
The
No.
world These people are still looking for they. Yep. So
You're gonna become the they.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
We'll figure it out. By the time we figure it out, we'll probably be in the ground.
Pretty much.
And then our kids have to figure it out.
Yeah, and then their kids have to figure it out, and then their kids will figure
That's how
it
the
out.
shit keeps going.
That's how it does.
I don't think you want to figure shit out. Once we figure shit out, it's like, oh,
There's nothing left to do.
that's it. Yeah, exactly. You gotta have something. To
Once
do.
you meet the guy with the white suit upstairs,
That's right.
and you find out that he's just a punk and a wimp, it's
Exactly.
over. Like, this is the game is over. Like, you're the master of the universe. That's it. This is okay. White suit, KFC. The guy from KFC is running the
It's one of the
Matrix.
things. I said, wow, this place is fucking boring. There ain't shit to do up here. So,
Speaking of people that run the world or whatever else, just a sidebar. Did you
Please.
see that they're coming out with to appease the feminine side of marketing that you're now going to have Jane Walker whiskey?
what?
I didn't make it up. They are now producing a line of Jane Walker to accompany Johnny Walker. Me too. So there should be a Me Too movement on the Me Too movement.
Oh,
Like, why?
for
Why?
fuck's sake.
So we're gonna have Jackie
Jackie Daniels,
Daniels. We're gonna have Jackie Daniels. We're gonna
Jessica
have
Biel.
Yeah. Jessica Biel. There you go. Well, feminists, they don't even drink the fucking whiskey. They don't drink that stuff. That's not a
Oh
woman.
shit, Jane Walker.
Jane
so
Walker.
what's she gonna look like?
I don't know. They're supposed to reveal it.
What's
It's,
she gonna look like?
it's supposed to be revealed in the spring.
And is it gonna be a hot chick walking across? Because that'll be another fucking issue.
That would be it. Why does it have to be a sexy?
Right,
symbol?
exactly. So now, if we're supposed to drink it, is this supposed to be an attractive woman?
Right.
You know,
why can't she be a porch
Is she-
sitting fat lady in down
fat
south
lady fucking picking greens, just
doing some down south whiskey shit? You
Right,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like that harvesting. Like, I mean, this is a harvested product,
Right.
You know, so why wouldn't that be the symbol?
why wouldn't it be like? For one of the things that pissed me off in the corporatization of shit, I liked it when Aunt Jemima was this freaking big cheeked,
Yeah, strong,
strong-hearted,
fixed
woman,
everything.
right? Just
Put a
big,
little spit on your
broad,
wounds.
freaking
She was
you
a
know,
mammy. She was a
oversized.
that
in a
wasn't-
sense, yeah.
that wasn't
she was the mammy character.
Right, that wasn't
In a sense.
that happened. That
Right.
was real.
Those people existed,
right.
right?
Then they made her look.
And then she became all like she had a perm, she had earrings in her ear, and I was like, well, this
Basically, Florence from the Jeffersons.
Yes.
They made her.
yes,
And she fucked up
and
the
it,
maid
just, and
world.
it just doesn't match. That doesn't. So why do I want this bitch making me pancakes? No, I don't want her making me pancakes.
Marla Gibbs fucked up service women. Marla, she fucked it up. Florence fucked up the go make it yourself, motherfucker. Like,
Mhm.
no, you were paid to do this. Like, this was a job. Like, this was a prominent job. She literally took that and said, fuck you.
That's right.
Make your own fucking.
That's right.
But mighty funny how it was, 'cause she worked for a black guy. You know what I'm saying? So she could do that. You know what I'm saying? If she had worked for a white guy or whatever else, I don't think that would have worked.
That dynamic wouldn't have worked.
Only in a comedy, like in a pure satire, would have
Right.
been sheer. Okay, I'll make my own. Why? Then it says, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the whole thing was satirical. It was this.
I know. I'm just
right.
being oxymoronish.
Right.
Like, you know.
Like when you look back at Archie, if you go back and you watch the All in the Family, the
Yeah.
Archie Bunkers, I don't know. It's probably like it hasn't been until recently that I realized how much of a fucking stroke of genius that really was.
Yeah. Norman
how
Newman
this-
and those guys were.
How this bigot, who you could file him for being a bigot and
Right.
being this sort of like oppressive figure maybe on his
Uh-huh.
wife and family, but he was always the butt of the joke
It was a butt of the joke, and it got egg on his face everywhere.
every time.
Ralph Cramden's the same.
Right.
If you watch some of the earlier honeymooners,
Mhm.
they're so bad.
Yes.
They are like the first season. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like
couldn't-
Alice,
you
you
couldn't
throw
get away
you
with
out the
that.
window. You're a moron. You stupid. You this and
Right.
that. Yeah,
You couldn't
and
get
he
away
puts
with
his
that.
pants on wrong, and he doesn't get the job, and he's,
Right.
oh honey, I'm so sorry. I love you. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what? But he was the butt of the joke, just
Right.
like Archie was, and so that form of satire was trying to do something. I don't know if they hoped or heard it. I think the response, the receiver doesn't always get the message. Like
Right,
the girl
right.
with the fucking
Right.
the black disc on the floor. The person watching it is so dangerous of how the message could
Of
have
how
came
the message was
across.
received. Right.
They missed it.
Right.
Missed the whole fucking
You
message.
would never. I don't know if you could do. You probably couldn't do those shows now.
Nah.
You couldn't do Honeymooners. You
Nah.
couldn't do
Nah.
All in the Family. You probably couldn't even do the Jeffersons now.
No.
You probably couldn't even
No
do.
way.
I don't know. Maybe even like the Sanford and Sons and whatnot. You probably couldn't do that because it accentuated stereotypes. But you had to be smart enough to realize, no, they're telling you how stupid these stereotypes
Right.
are.
Right.
And you can't regulate people to that. We're going to use this as a vehicle to get you there, but we're also trying to show you that it's kind of silly to
Right.
do this
Right.
because the end result is going to be stupid.
Right. Pretty
So
much.
let's
Let's make fun of it.
make fun of it.
Let's make fun of it.
But some people get stuck in the whole. Like we're treating women this way.
He
or we're
wears
treating
plaid
men
shirts every
this
day,
way.
and his pants is this way, and he calls his son a big dummy. This is just unacceptable. Look how they depict him, showing his son as this is black on when his son is trying to be there for. This is
Right.
what people would do. They would take this and turn it a whole left. way instead of just seeing how satirical it was. I think they just don't even know the word satire.
Right.
That could be the possibility.
Right. Well, we've left our satire to cartoons. Right. You can't do live like human beings being satirical because you can't.
There's no way you're gonna go under that hole and come up over there. That's fake.
It is fake. I'll accept the fucking bunny walking and talking and somehow has this fucking
Turning on ovens,
yeah,
fighting gangsters. Yeah,
Right.
The mob, the Bugsy, all these guys. Oh man,
the softball, the baseball one. I'll accept all of that, but this fucking hole, you're not fooling me.
Oh man, they did Woody Woodpecker over,
How did they do it all?
and they made it like a movie, like a real fucking
Like an actual woodpecker, like a live action
yes,
woodpecker?
with CGI, and it's horrible.
It's got to be horrible.
Dude, no, these kids don't even know who Woody Woodpecker is. I actually liked Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
He was a funny guy. He was very satirical. He
Yeah.
was like, oh man. And then the old one, the roostery looking one with the thick legs, and he was even weird. He was even worse. And then the redhead one came, and he was witty. You know what I'm saying? Definitely funny. Do some tricks, and he had a cast of characters. You know, Miss Meanie and all this.
Right.
They did a TV show, man. It's on Netflix, and dude, they shouldn't have did this. They really shouldn't have did this. They made it like, you know, oh my God, it's Woody Woodpecker 2018. Unreal. I don't know why they would want to do this. I don't know whose bright idea and what studio did they come out and say, you go see if there's a trailer for it. He's whizzing around the forest and doing all kinds of, this is live. What is this? This is a show. But this is it. It's good.
Remember me?
They brought him back.
Wait a minute. You're not camping. You're moving in. This ought to be fun. Come on.
Come on.
Campers? What is that thing? It's okay. I met him in the bush. Feeling lucky today, punk?
With tech.
Well, yeah. With that.
Selfie. Like,
That's the flying demon right there.
come on.
Oh.
Hello, boys.
Come on.
How about some of this? I do all my own stuff.
The bird.
Here's Woody. I wonder how this thing works.
Come on.
That's how you do things the Woody way.
Yeah.
Woody
No.
Woodpecker on DVD and digital February 6th.
No.
On Universal, of all people. Universal. I don't know why they would do this. I couldn't stomach.
That looks horrible.
I did about 20 minutes into it. I said, let me just watch it just to have,
What were the name of the two magpies?
Heckle and Jekyll. Heckle and Jekyll, two magpies. They were. Yeah, look at these new anime. They're doing Popeye like this again.
I don't know all that shit. This is fucking classic cartoons.
Yeah, you watch Heckle and Jekyll.
1947.
Well, they were
Wow.
they're talking magpies, man. And they re-released them in the 70s.
Like change their voices and shit.
But
Right?
if you go watch like Bugs Bunny and all that shit, she was 1943 also.
Yeah.
It was really old. Yeah, hey Mac, they gave him like
Right, they did that, and then they changed all of like the supporting characters because they definitely had the Mammy character in there.
Yeah.
And they changed her, which I don't know if it's any
no,
different.
it was
They
Tom
made
and
her-
Jerry.
Well, Tom and Jerry had the Mammy character, yeah. No way you could get away with this shit now.
No, this would be Indians coming at you. Now they're selling like Indian oils, and shit, juice. Here comes a cop or something. Yeah. This is classic,
Now, I'd like to volunteer to demonstrate.
No way.
Pour a drop on the head, and in no time at all, you get a full growth of long, healthy hair. This is just a small example of what this hair tonic can do. It will cover the bald head with a complete new growth of beautiful, healthy hair. And
It's a
guaranteed.
South African voice he's got.
It sounds like it, yeah.
No peddlers allowed in this park. Go on, get out of here.
That's crazy.
Go on,
No
go
peddlers.
on. Don't
Go
come
right
in
around.
here again or I'll tell the cop on you.
That's how they pushed me out of the door in Vegas. Pushed me right out. I walked.
These fucking cards, these were classics,
Yeah,
man.
these are classic, man. You catch all of these. Even if you watch Little Rascals, if you go back and watch the Little Rascals,
Only for
you're gonna see the lady talk about oh, Stymie, that black kid you wanna hang with, and Stymie's my friend, and I don't care.
Yeah.
And he's like really sticking up for his boy. They just wanted to play
Uh-huh.
and hang out, and the parents was, oh, he's a black kid, you know, and Farina's mother was their maid and washing all that stuff. Yo, it was crazy. But some people look at it and go, oh, that was discriminatory. No, that's how it was. I mean, there were certain things of it that may have been true or may not have been true. There was a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of that going on now. We just don't want to like accept certain things. That like certain things are, but when you say that they are, you're being like if you say
I don't want to see it.
right,
It's
like
happening,
if you say
but I don't see it.
women, like men are stronger than women, and some people get upset with that. Well, that's kind of like yes, men are,
Controversy.
now yes, there is a woman who is stronger than some men. Absolutely,
There's Jessica Jones out
I
there.
don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to walk into one of these professional MMA fighters. No, they beat the shit out of me because they're a professional fighter. Yes, but to say that, like, if you're gonna say that men are not on average stronger than women,
Right.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I would say. But anyway, tons of stuff, tons of topics. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun. Hitting 2 hours. Wow.
Oh, really?
155.
That was cool.
I can see that from there.
That's a different
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah,
We're not gonna see you next week. 'Cause
No,
you're-
next
you're
week
doing
I'm
your
gonna
thing.
be.
You're gonna post it on the channel.
Of course, I'll post a lot of shit.
Post on the channel.
I'll do some live stuff. Do some stuff. Maybe I'll get you on a two-way. Maybe we'll do it.
Do that.
Because you know, on live you could share. I could talk to you. We could do a live post, and you could do it with someone.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of how we were trying to do it with Skype and all that stuff,
Right.
Instagram has it. Instagram has it, and Facebook has it.
We can do that. We
You
can do that.
will split screen. It'll go.
It's probably easy to do it on Instagram because then I could just do it right on my phone.
Yeah, Instagram is they do it now. So, Two Bros Podcast.
More things to come.
Signing out. Episode 24. We are one episode away from a quarter. Have a blessed day, week, and remember, be a blessing to someone else.
Oh, fuck 'em.
Peace.
Peace out. Love, peace, and hair grease.
John.
You're watching Two Bros Podcast on Protein Girls TV.
From France. Yeah.
You should say that.